Afternoon, welcome back to another video. Hope you guys can hear me okay. I got the AC going. And today I just finished reading the book No More Mr. Nice Guy by Robert Glover, which I can wholeheartedly recommend to everybody out there, especially if you're a guy like me who has trouble standing up for himself, has trouble confronting people, and is sometimes scared of confrontation, is scared to be disliked. I would encourage you to give it a read, because while at the end of the day it's just reading a book, I probably won't absorb all of it. I probably won't apply everything that I could apply from it, but I can definitely see myself rereading it in the future and doing all of the exercises in there. It still really helped me to start developing a mindset shift in how I go about my life, how I conduct myself, how I see myself, how I approach my relationships, how I approach conflict. Because, like the premise of the book goes, for the past, ever since I've been alive, for the past 22 years, I've found myself being a nice guy. I'm one of those guys that constantly tried to people please, who avoided conflict, who was scared to rock the boat, was scared to be polarizing or controversial, was scared to be disliked. So I would classify myself right now as a recovering nice guy, because what the book teaches you is that being a nice guy does not mean that you're a good guy. Being a nice person doesn't mean you're a good person. In fact, sometimes it can be quite the opposite. Nice guys you can actually be, and I'm not excluded from this, somebody who lies, somebody who's manipulative, somebody who's a coward, somebody who's needy, somebody who lacks accountability and responsibility, and is ultimately somebody who won't end up getting what they want out of their life, and somebody who won't end up fulfilling their potential because of how focused you are on pleasing others. So that's the topic of today's video, is to stop being a nice guy, to stop running away from conflict, to have the courage to be disliked, to have uncomfortable conversations, to confront people, to act with honesty and integrity, to tell the truth, to express your thoughts and feelings openly, without hesitation. To not harbor things, to not bury them down inside, but to open up, which is a difficult thing to do, but it's what makes nice guys weak. is that you don't have the strength to open up to people, to stand your ground, to not let yourself be mistreated by anybody, to openly express your wants and your needs. That's how you build trust and strong relationships, by opening up and being vulnerable and not running from conflict, but to have conflicts, even if that means you get angry. Because being angry doesn't make you a bad person. If you don't get angry, you're not a person. It's a normal emotion that we all experience. Also, to open up about, to not be ashamed, to not hide away things you're ashamed of, but to open up about them, to not hide your insecurities, because we all have them. To be comfortable as a man with your sexuality, which a lot of people nowadays struggle with, but it's an important part of your identity, and it's something that you have to be comfortable being open about, and to discuss your sexuality with others. Also, to carry yourself with more self-respect, to hold your head up high, to put your shoulders back, swing your shoulders, have some swagger when you walk, better body language, to confront fear, because a strong person and a weak person both feel the same amount of fear, but the strong person manages to push through it, and the weak person cowers away from it and shrinks from it. That's the only difference. If you're somebody who's a weak person and you want to get strong, just know that strong people, they don't feel any less fear than you do, but they're just better at overcoming it. Also, to not make excuses, to not play the victim, to not blame anything else for your problems, to know that at the end of the day, you and only you are responsible for your life's happiness and your life's, fulfillment and achievement. Nobody else. It all falls to you. Nobody's coming to save you. You have to save yourself. Also, sorry about the yawn. It was a busy day at work. Also, to love and accept yourself more. To have more self-respect. To have more self-dignity. And no matter what, to not sacrifice that self-respect and that dignity for anybody. Because there are things in your life that you can sacrifice for people that you care about. But your dignity and self-worth and self-respect, those are not one of those things. Because you only have one of them, and they're extremely hard to get back once you've lost them. Take it from me. I mean, I'm only beginning now, after like 1.5 years of self-improvement and personal growth, I'm only now beginning to find my self-respect and my self-love and worth and my dignity once again. And it's been extremely difficult, and it's still an ongoing process. I think it'll always be an ongoing process, But that shows you just how long it can take. To also to be a go-getter, to not sit around and wait for things to fall in your lap, but to go out and play life on offense and be aggressive and go grab the things that you want. Don't wait for somebody else to tell you, to give you permission. Don't wait till you feel ready and you feel prepared, because in a lot of cases, that's never going to come. You just have to take a leap of faith and just go for what you want. And accept the criticism that comes with that, because if you're not hated by somebody, then you're probably not loved by somebody. So just know that, you know. And I think if I can think about good places to start, I'd say first off, find a close person, a safe person, whether it's somebody in your family or whether it's a close friend who you know you can confide in and open up to, and they won't judge you. And express with them you're wanting to become a stronger person and to stand up for yourself and to not be a nice guy anymore. That's step one, and work with them and ask for their feedback and ask them to be 100% honest with you and to tell you when they think that you're in the wrong. And you start small and you work your way up, and you get better at dealing with conflict, and you get better at sticking up for yourself, and every single time that you stand up for yourself, you gain a little bit of confidence and a little bit of self-worth. Every single time you are scared and you take a risk anyways, no matter what the outcome may be, you gain a little bit of self-worth. And that compounds over time, over the weeks, the days, the weeks, the months, the years, as you continue to enforce these habits. Your self-respect and self-worth is going to grow, and people are going to respect you more because they're going to know that you're somebody who's honest, who acts with integrity, who they can trust because they know you're not going to lie to them no matter what. You're going to tell them hard things that they need to hear. You're not going to be afraid to confront them, and you're going to build stronger, deeper relationships because of it. You're going to get better at opening up to people and being vulnerable with family, with friends, because that's huge. You need people in your life that you can open up to, and you know that you can tell them anything, and they can tell you anything, and that they're not going to judge you for it. Also, another thing I learned from the book, from two books I've read. I read Models by Mark Manson, and then I read this book, No More Mr. Nice Guy by Dr. Robert Glover. This one is mainly for guys out there, but if you watch pornography, if you watch porn, just stop watching it, man. You know, I don't care if there's no scientific evidence that says it's not bad for you. It's bad for you. It creates completely unrealistic expectations of what sex and sexual relationships are supposed to look like. It It provides you instant sexual gratification without having to go out and actually talk to women and find women and connect with them and build a sexual relationship with them. It disconnects you from reality. It wastes time. You dump your sexual energy into a video on a screen. It kills your life energy. It kills your masculinity. And it can infect every part of your brain and make you a weaker person. So I'm definitely part of nowadays I'm definitely part of the anti-porn club. I can definitely say that. I'll probably, if all goes to plan, I'll hopefully never watch it again, because I think it's that bad for you. Another thing it teaches you, and this is also for the guys out there, is, it's a great topic to look up. I would just read the book if you can, but it talks about healthy masturbation, which involves, not using fantasy, not doing it compulsively. But if you do it right, it can be good for you. It can be good for building acceptance with your sexuality, with losing any sexual shame if you're somebody who struggles with that, which is okay. Because that's another thing that nice guys do, is they hide their shame and their insecurities. Which, when you do that and you don't open up to people and you don't be vulnerable with them, it makes you less trustworthy. It shows that you're a weaker person. It closes you off to forming deep relationships, whether that be with other guys, with girls. I think you have to know that it's okay to have shame and insecurities, and it's okay to open up about that shame and those insecurities to people that you trust. Because they won't judge you for it. I guarantee it. They won't judge you for it. They might even accept you even more, because you show them a side of you that they didn't know was there, and you show them a strength that they didn't know you had, because you were willing to open up to them, which is a difficult thing to do. All of this stuff is easy to say, but in practice, being vulnerable is, especially if you're not used to it, can be extremely frightening. It's very scary. You're just opening yourself up to be judged. But it's something that you have to do, sooner rather than later. And it'll help you grow as a person emotionally. It'll help build strength. And yeah, I'm now definitely a recovering nice guy. And I would say, stop. Don't people please. Be authentic. The more authentic that you can be, the stronger you'll become. The braver you'll become, the more self-worth and self-acceptance you'll develop, because you have to Self-improvement is great. But self-improvement can't come from a place of, I'm not enough. It just has to come from a place of, I want to become more. Because you have to accept that you're enough as you are. Always. You have to wake up and be able to look in the mirror at yourself and be able to tell yourself, no matter what happens, I'm enough, and I have my approval, and I like who I am, and that'll never change no matter what. I like me. I would buy me a drink, as Dwayne Knoll would say. If you don't like you, there's a pretty slim chance that anybody else will like you. Truly. So, yeah, that would be the advice for today. That would be the lessons from today. Man, every day is a learning opportunity if you let it teach you. And there are going to be good days and there are going to be bad days. And those days are going to have good points and those days are going to have bad points. But another great lesson I can teach you today, another thing that I learned is that sadness, anger, frustration, heartbreak, depression, loneliness, uncertainty, fear, all of these things, all of these negative emotions and negative times, those things are not bugs, they're features. So you have to accept those as a part of life, because they're not going away anytime soon, especially if you really start putting in a lot of effort to better yourself. Those things are only going to amplify, because the stronger the sword, the more it has to be pushed through the fire, and the more hammer blows it has to take, the more time it has to spend in the forge, being heated, reheated, quenched, worked on. I'm in mechanical engineering right now in school. And the way that we make steel stronger as engineers is we work harden it. What work hardening is you take the steel, you take the raw material, and you strain it. You put it under force. You put it under tension or compression, and you cause it to yield, and you cause it to bend. You don't cause it to break, but you cause it to bend, and you cause it to deform permanently, plastically. And when that happens, the microstructure of the steel changes, and it causes the material to strengthen. A lot of the time in life, the only way that you're going to get stronger and that you're going to get better is when you are permanently deformed. Is when you are put under extreme tension or extreme compression and you're bent. And sometimes you might even break. And when that happens, you have to restart from zero. Which is hard, and it's scary, and it's demoralizing, but it's something that we all go through. But you're going to be bent, and you're going to yield, and you're going to be deformed permanently. And it's going to make you stronger. But you're not going to feel that. You're not going to experience that. All you're going to feel from your point of view is just the constant strain and the pain of being put under stress and bent. And it's gonna hurt and it's gonna suck, but it's gonna make you better. A long time down the line, you're gonna look back and realize how much stronger you've become. But that process only happens through a lot of pain and a lot of difficulty and a lot of anguish. Don't be mad at yourself. Don't rush the process. Don't get frustrated. It'll happen eventually. But you might just need a little more time. That doesn't mean it'll never happen though. That's not true. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to say to you guys today. To be honest, I think that's probably a good place to leave off. So, if you made it this far into the video, thank you so much for watching all the way. I appreciate it. Take care. I hope to see you back here again tomorrow. Trying something different today. This video is a little longer than usual, but let me know if you like it, and I might continue this way if the response is good. So take care. Have a good one. Hope to see you back here tomorrow. Peace.